Welcome back, Truth Seeker. March 21st, 2019, in New Zealand right now. And the big news is the New Zealand Prime Minister has announced new laws surrounding gun ownership. And she said right after the shooting, our gun laws will change. Please see my video on that. I want to show you what the significance of this coming on March 21st is in light of a point that's been brought up about the weapons shown in the shooting. The shooter had all sorts of writing on his weapons, including the number 14. And in light of it coming out that he was a white supremacist, a lot of people imagine that the 14 were in tribute to the 14 words, which are: we must secure the existence of our people and a future for white children. Or, less commonly, because the beauty of the white Aryan woman must not perish from the earth. So, let's look at both of these phrases in the language of Gematria. Person just called into my radio show and said, you got to check this out. And as he was talking about it, the news was breaking about this gun ban. So here's the first phrase. See these four numerical values? We're going to clear this out and we're going to put in the other phrase. And I want you to notice. That these two phrases, both of 14 words, the alternate meaning of the 14 words, they have the same gematria value with the alphabetic order, the same gematria value with the reverse alphabetic order, and the same gematria value with the reverse alphabetic order and the rules of numerology. And look at the overlap with that final value. 3, 2, 1. What is the day of the gun ban? March 21st, a date that can be written 3/21. Of course, the date can also be written 21/3. If you've read my book, there's a chapter that's over 100 pages long alone that's on mass shootings over the decades across the world. 213 is a number that's familiar to shootings. Shooting equals 213, death 213, another relevant number. So the date written 21/3 also fits. But what are the odds that the 14 words have these perfect gematria overlap? And again, when you come to learn this language of letters and numbers, you see how many phrases that exist in our world, especially that are brought to us through the media. Like, how many people even heard of the 14 words before this story happened? This is something that's coming to a light for a lot of us right now. But anyhow, what are the odds of this perfect overlap of these two phrases? It just goes to show that they were perfectly thought out. And again, there's a certain group of people that use this code. It is Freemasonry. It is Freemasonry that uses this code. I want you to look at the number 741. And look at that number in reverse, 147. And I want you to look at the 906. In numerology, that number is pretty much the same as 96. But 96 and the reflection of this, 147, Freemason. 147, 96. And remember the other number we just looked at, 321? Think about that number in reverse, 123. Conspiracy, 123, also 147. Now remember, this shooting happened on the 74th day of the year, and the man was said to be a white supremacist. White supremacist 74. The first mosque he shot up was at the address 101. And let me just pull this up here, just in case you don't know this. The first location he went to was 101 Deans Avenue. The next was 223 Linwood Avenue. Okay? With regards to 223, that connects to white supremacist. With regards to 101, the shooting was on the Ides of March. Ides of March is 101, okay? His manifesto was called The Great Replacement. The Great Replacement, which is another 101. The shooting at 101 Deans Avenue. I've done a lot of work on this. I don't want to be too redundant, but just understand, none of this was an accident. The neighborhood of the mosque at 101 Deans Avenue looks like that neighborhood's called the Rickerton area. Rickerton's 101. It was Christchurch, mosque shootings, a global agenda by the New World Order to divide the Muslim and Christian people through nonstop propaganda, which is all done by these ritualistic codes. Look at Phillipstown. Actually, look at Rickerton and Christian in all four ciphers. Perfect overlap. They said the shooting began at 1:42 p.m., but perfect overlap in all four ciphers. Christchurch, the 74th day of the year. Of course, Jesus equals 74, so does cross, so does Messiah, so does gospel, so does parables. But this other mosque was in the area called Phillipstown. Phillipstown 61, also like Ides of March, also like Christian, also like active shooter. Again, this is why you want to know the ciphers inside out. Christchurch is on the 43rd parallel south. Jesus Christ equals 43, also 74. 43 is the 14th prime, bringing us back to the 14 words. Don't forget this woman who's the prime minister. It happened 33 weeks after her birthday. Masonry, secrecy, order, police, they all sum to 33. You had the police posing with the shooter, doing the Masonic hidden hand pose. This guy dressed up in an outfit that looks like what you wear for your Masonic initiation. Where do police pose with shooters besides in psyops? It's not hard to see who the real enemy is here. It's your government. The definition of terrorism is government by intimidation. That's exactly what you have. All of you in New Zealand who are turning in your guns to the police, you're traitors against humanity. You need to know that. You are. You might think you're doing the right thing or being a nice person. You're under mind control. That's what government is. They did this. They want to disarm you. They want to take away your rights, your liberties. They want to fill you with hate and division. This is how they do it, by a code, as silly as it might seem. So we'll leave it there. Until next time, Truth Seeker.